Good morning to you and welcome to Penn Vicarage, hoping you are well and that you are cheerful on this Tuesday morning. I don't know about you, I had a good day yesterday. Two things. Firstly, I had a paperwork day yesterday. Now, although no one enjoys doing paperwork, I don't know about you, but my head is much clearer when I've got my desk clear. And so the last few days, not only have I got my head clear of hair, which has been good, but also I've managed to get my head clear of paperwork as well. So I had a really good paperwork crunching day yesterday. So I feel more clear-headed today. The other reason yesterday went very well is yesterday morning's talk was a really tough one. But what I shared with you yesterday, I had never spotted before. And that whole reading has come alive to me in a thought-provoking way I'd never spotted before. So thank you for listening to these talks and giving me the opportunity, because otherwise I suspect I never would have spotted it. Now this morning's reading is, the context is, because you've always done the context with the Bible reading, the context is basically picking up on yesterday. Jesus is just about to set off to Jerusalem for the final showdown on Good Friday and Easter Sunday and so on. And he's having a conversation with his disciples. And it goes like this. This is Luke chapter 18, verses 1 to 8. Then Jesus told them a parable about their need to pray always and not to lose heart. He said, "In a certain city there was a judge who neither feared God nor had respect for people. In that city there was a widow who kept coming to him and saying, 'Grant me justice against my opponent.' For a while he refused, but later he said to himself, 'Though I have no fear of God and no respect for anyone, yet because this widow keeps bothering me, I will grant her justice, so she will not wear me out by continually coming.' And the Lord said, 'Listen to what the unjust judge says. And will not God grant justice to his chosen ones who cry to him day and night? Will he delay long in helping them? I tell you, he will quickly grant justice to them. And yet, when the Son of Man comes, will he find faith on earth?'" And this is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Now, one question I often ask myself, and I do ask myself a lot, is praying. Why don't we do more of it? Given that, as I say, praying is talking to God, doing it or not seems to me, on the principle, a bit of a no-brainer. We've got the opportunity to talk with the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Surely we have direct access. Why don't we talk to him more? I mean, it's such an obvious thing to do. But I'm saying to myself, as much as anybody, I can assure you, why don't we do more of it? And I often ask myself that question. And I think it's really, in our heart of hearts, is the way we see ourselves, and also the point, the way we see God. I think maybe because we think maybe God is not loving enough. Maybe he doesn't care about us enough. Maybe we think he isn't powerful enough. It's a waste of time. Maybe we think God is perhaps too busy. Maybe we think that we are just too small and insignificant and God's got better things to do with his time. It may be we're just not worthy, or maybe things that we've done, or by conscience or whatever it may be. But all manner of reasons come together. I suspect those, a myriad others, and probably a combination of all of the above, lead us to the point is, one of the reasons why, maybe the reason why, we don't pray perhaps as much as we might do. And I think as a result, to use Jesus' words, that we lose heart and we don't do it perhaps as much as we might. Now I think in this morning's reading, Jesus gives us a lot of help really. It gives a real inspiration to try and encourage us in our prayers. And to do this, he uses language which the Bible uses, the New Testament certainly uses a lot, the language of how much more. So he gives a scenario and he says, if that's the case, then how much more will God do it? And in this morning's reading, he tells a story about this judge. And this judge is basically not a very nice person. Sort of think Victor Meldrew or someone like that, if you remember him. So he says he's neither God-fearing nor respectful of anyone. So this judge is basically, he's obviously well qualified, but he's not a very nice person. He's just grumpy, what's a piece of work. And this widow comes to him looking for justice. Now, we don't know what the justice is for. We're not given that detail. I guess that's not really important. Otherwise, the Bible will tell us. But this widow comes, and she comes basically every day to him. And in the end, she basically wears him down. And in the end, he kind of relents. And in language which I think is almost meant to be quite funny, he talks about, stop her bothering me with her continuous coming. Oh, she grinds me down. Eventually, get that woman off my back. Ugh, give her what she wants. Give me some peace at last. And what Jesus is saying here is, the woman asks the judge for justice. We are talking to God. Now, what he's basically saying is, if this judge, who is not a very nice person, gives the woman justice, how much more will God give justice and listen to our prayers? All right? So if this horrible judge, who is not a God-fearing person, even he will listen to this widow, how much more will God, who's not only God-fearing, but God himself, listen to us? And if this judge, who has no respect for people at all, doesn't care about people, if he will give justice to the widow, how much more will God give us justice when we ask? How much more will God listen to our prayers? And I think what he's saying here is his incentive is this: if this nasty, grumpy, Victor Meldrew judge will listen to the petitions of the woman, how much more will God listen to us? And that, I think, is the inspiration to us today. And that's the inspiration to keep praying and not to give up and not to lose heart, because if this grumpy judge can listen to the petitions of the woman, how much more will a loving God, who is loving, respectful, kind, merciful, etc., how much more will God listen to us? So, yet another incentive to spend time with God. It really is worth it, because he's loving, he's kind, he's helpful, he cares enormously about us. So with that in mind, let's keep the praying going, let's keep them going up. Don't forget to say one for me, and have a lovely day. God bless you, have a lovely day, and if you've enjoyed this morning's talk, do feel free to like it or share it, because the more you share it, the more you like it, the more other people will see it as well. So keep the prayers going up.